I'm David Berczes. I'm from Budapest, Hungary. I'm a sophomore. My major is finance and accounting, and I'm a grandmaster. All right, welcome everyone. My name is David Berczes. I'm gonna present a game back in 2011 against Alexander Freer. This was in my heydays of my career, like when I was about 25, 50. My opponent was a very good player from Brazil, Alexander Freer, around 2600, which is supposed to be pretty strong. So I played against him in round 6, and tournament was like 9 rounds, so it was kind of like, it was on board 2, so it's a very important game. And I decided to play in a very risky way, how I used to do it all the time. So I chose a very not common, a very rare line, the Blumenfeld. So let me start. So he played d4. Usually he plays e4, d4, c4, knight f3, g3, everything. So now he played d4. It's very hard to prepare, so I had to be kind of spontaneous at the board. So I played knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, and I went c5. So I had played maybe once or twice before this game, so I thought, why not to play c5? I knew that he was also a tactical player like me, but then at least it was a great challenge, so I went for it. So obviously d5 and now b5. This opening is called Blumenfeld. So here there are like, he went for the material, he won the pawn. The other main line is like bishop g5. This is more like positional way, and usually it goes like this, and take, and d6, and like white has some options like e4, a6, a4. This is supposed to be main line, and the point is obviously we shouldn't play b4 then, because then knight d2, and it's just like in the longer run he plays bishop d3 and knight c4, and the white is just better. So like the trick is bishop e7 here. So it kind of confuses white's position, because now if he takes, obviously I take on e4, or if he protects it, knight d2, then I just take on d5, and takes and castle. And according to the theory, black equalizes easily, even though he might even fight for an advantage here. So this is like kind of like more positional way, and I knew that he wouldn't go for it since he's not really comfortable with such positions. So the other main line obviously take the e6, f takes, and c takes b5. But now black has sacrificed a pawn, so like I really have to seek for a very enough compensation here. So I went for d5. This is probably the best move here. The other option is a6, takes, and obviously like here white goes g3, and quickly trying to develop, and then like bishop g2, castle, rook e1, knight c3, and e4. So I'm trying to make a counterplay in the center. So but the main line is supposed to be d5 here. And here I think he was not really familiar already with the position, so he played very strange move, knight d2. Again, like the real main line is knight c3, bishop b7, and e4. And yeah, it's like a long line. I can show you a few moves like e5 and something like knight d7, and then like they go like knight g5, and it's really complicated. It's not even worth memorizing it. So as far as I know, it's very unclear. So it's like double-edged.
Why don't you play d4 after knight c3 instead of bishop b7? d4 immediately. Is it not
d4?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's not the best way, because then you just go knight f4, and then I don't see how you play it. Then he might even go for like e3 very fast, and I don't have time. Like whenever he plays e3, I should play e5. The reaction,
yeah, bishop d6 now.
Yeah, I don't know, or maybe other way. Maybe just go knight b. Okay, it looks weird. He might even go for like knight b1 and then knight d2 and knight c4. Now I weaken my square on c4, so I really have to like find very quickly something like in return to giving off the c4 square. So normally it's like another line is knight d7, also e4. Obviously white plays for very fast e4, d4 and e5 the same, and it's also like very complicated. Like it goes like this, and I don't know. It's probably the end is like, I don't know, it's playable for both white and black. So but it's completely messy. So I think he was afraid that I had prepared for this, so he just wanted to like avoid the main theory here. Other way to play for other setup is like g3, and then probably I just like bishop d6, bishop g2, castle, castle, and probably a6. This is supposed to be like a main setup for both black and white. There have been many games like Andrei Volokitin and Nisipiano. They played this variation with black very successfully. Like usually they went for like knight g4 and knight takes f2 and like something like, and then knight e5. It's like there's a lot of play in this opening for black. That's why it was kind of popular. But like since like there are very strong engines now, they can show like how like white is really maybe better. White can defend it by computer, so that's why it's not really popular anymore. So okay, like this was also like g3 was kind of like more positional way. So when he went for like 92, so like it was already, we were out of theory. So we both started like thinking here again. So okay, I went queen a5. Maybe I could have gone like first a6, but maybe he just goes e3 or e4. Probably maybe e4. That's like obviously that's the main plan of 92, to play fast e4, and then like the main point of e4 is to make black move the pawn, and then like the pawn e6 is gonna be very weak and very vulnerable. So, and obviously if I take on e4, he can just go knight g5, and like I just won the pawn back, so it's still like even, and then like my pawn structure is gonna get destroyed very badly. So I really want to like force everything. So queen a5. Obviously now the main idea behind of this move was to prevent e4, because I just take with the knight, and the knight is pinned here. So okay, he went e3, and obviously a6 very fast. It's very interesting. Like he took on a6, but like there is a very interesting like computer suggestion. I let you try to guess. I still don't know the purpose of the move, but he said like it was a little bit slightly better for white after that move. It's probably easy to find since I gave you a hint that it's a computer move.
Queen e2.
Well, maybe it's too like shady for computer too.
Maybe b4.
Yes. Yeah, like I just like checked with the engines, like, oh my god, it's very weird. Obviously now if I take with the pawn, probably just goes knight b3, and okay, he returned the pawn, but now he can develop very easily, and black is gonna fall like behind in development. So probably should take with the queen, and then the line came something like this. I don't really want to go into real depth. Take then b6 and like bishop b7, and okay, I mean it's still very complicated. Like engine said like plus 0.25 for white, but I don't know why. But okay, in a real game, anything can happen. So I don't really take this seriously. So obviously, like human move was like take on a6, and now bishop a6. I kind of want to prevent him to like castling, obviously, because now I pawn down, so I have to show something. I have to prove my compensation here. So he took and queen e2. Obviously, like there is no other way. And now I could have taken on e2, but to prevent him from castling forever. But then like I don't know. I just went like knight c6. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Like, which is better to like take on, or just knight c6 and let him castle? But then if I take on e2, obviously I give up a tempo. So it was a pretty like hard decision during the game. So what do you think? Which is the better way? Because
Knight c6 there.
Yeah, you agree with me? All right, thank you. So knight c6, yeah, took, and now it was a very hard decision for him too, because now there are like two options: either castle or king e2. And like I mean, I've learned the principle that like if there are like if there are no queens on the board, like we should keep the king like very close as possible to the center. So that's what he learned too, luckily. So he went king e2. I mean, other way obvious was like castle, and then I don't know. But then I think he was afraid of kind of like knight b4, and like then like the white squares are very weak, and I think I have just enough compensation here. Maybe not, but like it should be sufficient here. So that's why he went like king e2, and yeah, like my next move is kind of like obvious. I don't really have time to like wait and just like let him develop and then like in the long run like win the game. So yeah, like what do you think?
e5. E5.
Yeah, e5. Yeah, I think it's the normal move, but like obviously then I have to like face with like e4 because that's the only like the downside of the move, and like it's like very like committing move. So what do you think after e4?
Maybe you can take with the pawn, knight d4 check, and start
And then maybe king d1.
massaging.
Yeah, obviously it's like I didn't have time to care about like positional stuff. Yes, sir.
Maybe the problem with having the knight on d2 is that earlier you don't need to worry about e4 because after knight g5 you're going to have an intermediate e4 to e3. So maybe you could have just developed quickly and kept queens on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, so here, yeah, like on e5 and then just rook d1. But that was, I think, it's kind of like bad move. Yeah, I mean after e4, obviously like I want to take knight g5 and knight d4, as you said. And now if he goes like either king e1, no, king f1, and then I just go probably e3, takes a knight c2, and like it's a very interesting position. I think he should go king d1, and yeah, I don't really know like how to continue. Probably I would just like bishop e7, take, and probably just like castle, and even though I'm like pawn down, but I guess like I have a composition. Yes.
Or does it help your position to play e3, or is it better to let him capture on e4?
If I play e3, then he just takes and like it's gonna challenge my knight on d4. I will just like that's my d4 is my like he's a king there like that's the like the main source of my compensation on d4, the knight. So as long as my knight's on d4, I can like hope for like for some kind of counterplay.
Thinking just that also the pawn on e3 is some kind of target and blocks the dark squared bishop. So is it better to have that or to have the d4 square?
I like the d4 square is, I think it's very important because I just go rook d8, and like whenever he takes an f6, I will take with the pawn, and then I can just play f5.
So also just play knight takes on e4, knight takes on e4, knight b3, and take the a2 pawn.
Yeah, that's another way, but I think I prefer this way because I can just now rook d8, and like he doesn't really have like I don't see the way like he could develop with his pieces because I can just take and then maybe some c4. I think the long run is stronger. Maybe it's a good way to equalize to win the pawn.
Yeah, depends on if you want to.
But I don't want to go for equalizing, so I would go for a win here, Victor. So he didn't realize this, but I think it would have been still better for him. So yeah, he played rook d1. This move made sense as well. So obviously like e4 was coming, knight e1, and bishop d6. Now is probably I'm targeting the pawn h2. Not right now, obviously, but like in the long run. So also he cannot really play f3. I think the main plan for white is to play f3 to explode my center, and then trying to like get out very slowly. So okay, he played h3, and yeah, castle. So what do you think, guys? Does black have enough compensation here, or not? Not sufficient?
Obviously, yes. With a knight on e1.
Yeah, but like whenever he plays f3, just one move, and then it's very hard.
Still what? Like, still, if he takes, you take with a.
Because I have no concrete like.
Well,
at the first sight, I don't really have like.
Look, if he plays f3, if he takes on e4, you take with a d pawn, right?
But
knight,
he does
knight c4, bishop g3, you play on the f file. So he still has a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's true. So
all his pieces look like.
Yeah, I also felt the same. It was like I also felt that I should be doing fine here. So yeah, he played g4. Yeah, like he's a kind of aggressive player, and I think I was in kind of like, okay, I'm not done really remember, but I think I was in kind of like time pressure here. So so he really like, I guess he really wanted to play for that, but like he didn't know I was like kind of not that bad in yes.
On which move did you spend so much time?
I guess like I was really unfamiliar with the position, like already from after knight d2. Obviously, I didn't analyze something that deeply. It's just like I just knew the main IDs and stuff, and yeah, I was looking for the way how I could prove my compensation, and probably this took a lot of time. And as far as I remember, the time control was kind of like bad back there, because like there were 2 games. So obviously, each game was like kind of short. So we had like an hour, an hour 20 minutes. So, all right. So he went g4. I will honestly he wanted to play for some tricks like g5 and then take on e4 at some point. So, but that was, yeah, it didn't really work. So I just went knight b4. Yeah, here I have many options. Obviously, he wants to play like either that, like I told you, the g5, or maybe like f3 at some point, or knight g2, knight f4, maybe somehow to like get out of this like very passive position. But obviously, like I found a great way of compensation here. So yeah, I played knight b4. Now I wanna grab this pawn. So obviously he didn't let me. a3. And other thing, how could I continue?
h6.
What was the main plan of?
I think you would play c4 David. No?
Yeah, it's not a bad guess actually. So.
c4 93.
Yeah, because if you realize now, it's obvious knight is not hanging, so I have enough time. The other way was like I just want to show you that I could have gone like this way, 95, but it doesn't work because probably he can just go maybe like g5, and then he can probably like just go like something like at some point f4 or f3 and take, and king f2, and then like probably I have to go back either here. If I go here, my knight is gonna be like the edge, and it's very bad. So probably if I go here, something like that, and maybe.
Why not knight h5? Why not knight h5?
Yeah, but it's not doing anything there.
Well,
like,
you want to play c4 and knight d3.
yeah, probably he can still pull f4,
Okay, take.
and probably, yeah,
Check.
Check.
king f2.
Check.
Wait a second. There is another check on d3 also.
Oh yeah, maybe it's more precise to like take with this, probably with this knight. So, but it's very tricky because it looks like completely losing for white, but he might survive.
I'm sure it is completely lost. I just don't know.
No, like,
No, just check on g3.
yeah, and king f2. It's kind of a miracle, but he just goes to king g2, and then, you know, like, I have pawn down, and like d5 is hanging, so. Yeah, I also, for example, I was thinking a lot on this. Like, I didn't really believe my eyes that it didn't work, and I was right because I checked with the engine then, and he said like it's around equal. Sounds strange, but it is. So, and we gotta believe the machine. So, yeah, this
Black
was.
played g5.
Sorry.
Black played g5
Where?
after g4.
Well, then why not h6? If you want to play
I mean,
g5,
like-
then just play h6.
G4. The main idea was to like scare me, but like it's frightening. Like I don't know, like. But he could not. Like I'm not that type. So like, that's okay. I mean, like I think knight b4 is a very good move because like not only like I protect the bishop on d6 to prevent against like knight takes e4 or some kind of like tactics, but also like I'm like targeting this pawn, and my main idea is to play c4 and knight d3, and after whenever I put my knight on d3, that I can like I can lay back, and then it's fine. So he played a3, and then like I went obviously c4. So I think he felt like he was in kind of like trouble here. So he went king f1. It's kind of like, I don't know, that's where now. What would you guys? How would you like continue like this aggressive play for black?
Bishop g3.
But d4.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh wow. I didn't really consider bishop g3. I was like,
Go knight d3, David. Play good move.
What about bishop g3?
so what's the point of that? Like,
Well, what do you do then?
and I saw you want some tricks, but I don't know. Probably, what if I just like,
Well, you cannot take.
yeah, I mean I see that, but maybe what if I just go, king, yeah, it's the same. You want to take an f2, right? I guess. Very tricky, yeah. Well, interesting, yeah. It's very hard. Bishop
Just
g3.
winning.
Yeah, after is very creative, yeah. So what if, maybe can he go with rook b1? Oh, but then we just, maybe rook b1? I don't know. And
I bet that after knight takes g4, it will be pretty bad. For
I
you.
just take and then,
Rook takes f2 check.
oh, and you bring, but
I can bring second rook.
then the rook knight f1 or something. But you know, like the knights, they're kind
I'll
of like
checkmate you.
they protect the king pretty well.
Rook takes f2, king g1, rook g6.
And then
Rook takes g4.
he might go knight f1 maybe.
Bishop
take-
h4.
Or you should check maybe.
Knight h2.
Maybe knight h2.
Okay, now the second knight comes, so like knight d3.
Yeah, that's C, right? Takes, it's very interesting. Here, rook g6. I guess I have to go knight f1, bishop h2. And, or I might just go knight g2, right?
Rook takes g4.
Oh no, I can't, excuse me. So knight g2 probably, right? I guess. Yeah. Okay, bishop g3, then I just, I can do knight f1, maybe it's draw, I don't know. That sounds strange.
What about knight d3? You can take.
Yeah, or just knight
G2.
g2, right? Maybe. Just to play mature, and then like,
Then bishop g3 back.
then go with that knight f1. I don't know, or maybe he can just go knight, rook d. At some point he might just play rook d2. I don't know. So I don't feel it's that. I didn't really want to give him these like counter chances because I thought I had enough compensation to play without this much risk, you know. So maybe it still works, but it's just kind of like, and like when you have like 5-10 minutes, like you don't really like.
Can you just turn on the engine to see what he says about bishop g3?
Oh.
It's that bad.
Yeah, we can try that for fun. All right. So bishop g3. Okay. Yeah, like here.
Oh,
Oh, the best.
Yes.
Strongest machine.
Oh, actually, this is nice.
what does it say the move before? Is it the first line?
Yeah, it's very impressive. Yes. You're even knight
Damn
is-
it, we are losing to knight d3.
Of course, knight d3 is very obvious. What did
Yeah.
you play, David? King f7?
Yeah, that's turn can be right. Yeah, king f7. I was thinking of that, but okay, I just ignored it after like 2 seconds. So alright. So okay, yeah, bishop g3 is like interesting. I have to say, I didn't really come to my mind. So I just wanted to play like without a risk, but still like aggressive. So I played h5. Okay. I mean, for me it made sense too. So he played rook b1. It's kind of logical. Knight d3 takes, and to take with this pawn, and now he has to play g5, and now I have a knight h7. So like, so this is my main plan here, because if he goes h4, I just bishop g3 and then just like call it a day, and then it's over.
Are you sure?
He still has like problems here. Like he couldn't really solve it, and like that's why I played h5 because I didn't really like give him time to like breathe or something. You know what I mean? Like I really want to like keep him under pressure. So on both sides. So he went f4. I think it was just like a kind of like a desperate like attempt. I don't know. So yeah, here I have like two options: either to take on f3, en passant, or take on g5. So, but I went. Which one would you guys go for? He takes f3. Yeah, I also decided, like computer preferred knight takes g5 and then just knight e6 and g5, which makes sense too. But for me, like it made more sense. Even though like it destroys my pawn structure, but I think this is a position where you just don't care about like principles. You just want to like win the game as soon as possible. So he went e4. I think he replayed on my time here. He just like basically I think more or less gave up the game because it's still like he plays here. I go bishop g3, and yeah, that's what he should have gone for probably. Try this trick. So yeah, but I think it's still just if I take, obviously I have like king g2, which would have been his last trick. Like I think I just go here, and probably take here, and then I just transfer my rook to g6. Now I see like it's a very good way like to keep my rook on a6 to let him change my queens on there, because now I can just like jump to g6 or f6 anytime. So I think like he's just still winning. But so he tried e4 to like trying to create some complications here, but it's just like they are just like seemingly like good. But so I took on g5. Now I'm already like a pawn up, so I have nothing to worry about. Even though I was like down on time here, I was just like, okay, there I can't really like destroy my position here. So took on d5 and f2. I could have taken like of course an h3, but this was like kind of then knight e4, and like now he can like jump with his bishop, and then I just don't want. I still want to like keep him under pressure. So I went f2, and now he played king g2, and so here I calculated the winning line. I mean, okay, there are many, everything is winning, but it's just like more or less like forced lines, like 5-6 moves. I will give you an opportunity to like maybe try to find. Okay, it's not that like hard, but
Bishop b8.
like almost.
Bishop f4.
You're grabbing the right piece. So.
Bishop c5.
Yeah, and then what if I play
Probably
h4?
What?
h4.
Rook g6.
And yeah, then I take king h3 maybe.
Well, that's why bishop on b8 is better than rook g3.
And then I have like rook f1, right? After rook g1, I have just rook knight f1, rook f1.
That's why bishop b8 is better.
But if on bishop is on b8, then I can just play probably king h1 maybe, or king somewhere.
Rook f4.
Yeah, maybe after bishop b8 he might play just like maybe, I don't know, d6. I don't know if it makes sense, but I mean, as I say, it's like probably. But you found the right idea. So yeah, I played bishop c5. So I'd probably either raise like completely winning for black. I was just like curious about the plan. But he saw yeah, h4 and rook g6. Yeah, and that's how I calculate here. So I wanted to finish this game like in a fancy way. So hopefully I managed. So he took here. Now obviously it's like if he goes king a1, I just like rook g1. So of course that's why I play bishop c5 or rook f4. Yeah, it's also winning. So of course if he goes king h2, probably I can just play bishop d6 check, and king h3, rook g3 should be a checkmate very soon. So he went king h3. I played rook g1. He went rook f1. So I still had some tricks here.
Rook f3.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like that's what I calculated like like few moves before. So yeah, he took it. Obviously, if king h2, bishop d6 is a nice checkmate. So he took it. Rook takes f1, and yeah, he was still trying. That was interesting. So knight d2, rook g1. Now I have a 1 pawn for the piece, so it should be fine. So he played bishop like b4, and I was thinking like for like 15 seconds how to finish this game. But like I just played like bishop e3, and I think he didn't really find other counterplay here. So he resigned, which was like, it was after this tournament, after this game. It's a very important victory for me because I was tied for the first place in a great tournament. Actually, I finished like 11th because I lost in the last game. But this was one of my best victories, like with black, because against like a player around 2600. So I was very happy with this game. So yeah, that was my game. So thank you very much for